still have perspective in a world that feels neglected. Time goes on day by day, and you're trying to find your way, unaware of the magic inside. Secrets revealed right before your eyes. Ooh, open your eyes. Open your eyes. Unlock the hidden, unlock the hidden treasure. Open your eyes, open your eyes. Unlock the hidden, unlock the hidden treasure.
Right. Peace, family. Peace. Hope we all doing well today. Got a special class for you guys. So as you're coming into the chat, we'll just kind of let everybody start trickling before we dive into the subject. But we got a special class for you all. And let me set this up on IG real quick. Dun, 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 dun. How's everybody doing? We doing good. We doing good out there, y'all. I know it's been a busy week for everybody. Let's see. Let me set this up. Live. Cool. Let me set this up. All right. Cool. All right, folks, on IG, as a FYI, if you want to see the presentation and slides, already know, just head over to YouTube, right? So let me go ahead, and you already know how we start the class off, everybody. So I'll just kind of give it 2 more minutes to come on in. Is everybody excited about the powwow, y'all? Are y'all excited about the summits this year? We got people in the building. Peace to the God. Peace to you. Peace. Yeah, is everybody excited? Is everybody coming to Tulum? You know, what's the word? Y'all coming to Dallas? Y'all coming through to Dallas for the powwow? What else, y'all? Are y'all staying warm? Because it's cold to me. That's why I'm freaking bundled up. But let's just wait for people to come on through. Let me see if I can get everything set up. My other phone. Just got the email for Tulum. Hey, let's go. You gotta go to that. Promise you. Yeah, man, you gotta go to Tulum, man. And don't be telling me that y'all's money is short. I need to see everybody there. I want to see a lot of people pull up to the summit. And definitely, if you're in April, if you're able to come through Dallas, you know, for the powwow, please do. We'll have a lot of stuff going on. We'll have food. We'll have a lot of things that we're going to talk about as well. Okay, we got people coming through. Peace. Oh, yeah. Hey, yep, go get your ticket. Oh, yeah, and I still need to send out the hotel list. I'm just trying to talk to a few folks just to make sure that maybe there's certain deals and stuff like that that we can possibly get for the Nationals and whatnot. So just kind of stay. It's going to be dope to see you there, God. Yeah, we can go ahead and keep this thing started so we don't waste people's time. I know everybody's got a busy night, so we'll go ahead and add this to the stream. Let me see. Yes, sir. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that to everybody. I'm gonna get that to you as well, God. So please be on standby for that. Apologies for the delay. Let's see. Peace, peace, peace. How we doing? How we doing? Oh yeah, definitely if y'all need some copper jewelry, hit up Sister Phoenix. She come through, copper shaman. Let's go. Um, let me see. Let me see. It's to the stream. Everybody see my screen? Cool. So you already know how we do it. So we'll run through the preamble real quick. So we, the people of the Aboriginal Republic of North America, asserting our natural Aboriginal rights as the oldest recorded Aboriginal Indigenous peoples of the Americas, consisting of an Aboriginal Union of Indigenous peoples living in accordance with natural law, the law of our ancestors, do hereby recognize all nationals of the Aboriginal Republic of North America as a unified community, establish our divine right to self-rule, common defense of our nation, a complete unified will for progress and prosperity by and for our people, establishing justice by way of natural law and equality, and complete autonomy as a nation. All right, now that we're done with the formalities, y'all. Hold on, who's this? Peace to the God up in here. Y'all know I always got to do that preamble, and everybody should know that preamble. So, topics for today, y'all. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'll be going through it really quickly because I don't want to waste too many people's times on that. But yeah, I got to say it through. So, the topic of the day, y'all, and if you're on IG, get your ass to YouTube, right? You don't want to miss this. But basically, make money, y'all. Are you even on Web 1.0? Some of y'all, I be trying to holler at y'all, be like, yo, man, so you got this business. I'm like, yo, what's the website? And y'all be like, oh, well, I ain't even got a domain. I'm like, wait, you ain't got a. So we're going to bring a special guest on who's going to really, really hone in on what you guys need to do and what you all need to understand to transition from 1.0. And some of y'all are just on 1.0 to all the way to Web 3.0, right? So, but other than that, we talked about the preamble. Please know your 12 general orders, right? That's very important. And then make sure that you guys have paid your dues. It's very important. Pay your dues, y'all. Some of y'all keep asking that question. Where do I pay dues? Some of y'all act like y'all not familiar with arnagovernment.org to go pay those dues. The domain ain't changed, right? So the reason why you want to pay the dues funds employment for nationals and non-nationals and helps acquire equipment and resources and allows for us to make possible investments and other things of that nature, and plus keeps the government going, right? So obviously the dates have changed as far as like timeline of dues. It's in October to November versus November to December, just because of the fiscal year and planning on the Ministerial Congress side and the Drill Society of things. So keep that in mind. And then make sure to fill this out if you have not paid, or if you paid and you just we need to make sure that you do the confirmation. I see people saying, I paid them now. Hey, let's go. Yes. Keep paying them dues. Y'all, I'm proud of y'all. Yeah, so just be sure to do the confirmation if you haven't received this link, or if you need the link, let me know. Definitely can send it to you. I can definitely even put it in the chat as well. And that's what I probably will do. So give me like 10 seconds and I'll put this thing in the chat. So yeah, y'all know where to actually do that. So boom. Yeah, I need y'all to do that. Okay. Moving on. Okay. Events for ARNA in 2020, like we talked about. Got the powwow, y'all, right? So definitely come through April 21st, 23rd. It's going to be lit. We're going to do a lot of different things. It's going to be really cool. So if you need more information, hawabdfw.org, or you can just always reach out to our email and stuff like that. If you want to be a vendor as well, intake is on there as well. And these are the prices and whatnot. So then we also have the summit. We're going to have 2 this year. One's going to be in Tulum and the other one's going to be ATL. Definitely get your passports ready, y'all. Some of y'all ain't even got your passport. I'm looking at y'all crazy like, where is y'all's passport? Have y'all not traveled outside the country? But anyway, I'm not trying to give y'all a hard time. But and then obviously we have the Ramadan ball, right? So, and we also have other events, 2023. We have this going on in March. So if you need more information, definitely reach out to the sister. She definitely take care of you and get you the details on that. And let me make sure. So I skip past this because I talked about this last time. But the thing I wanted to mention to y'all, and we'll probably talk about this in another class, is that there's an international treaty being talked about today that's about to be implemented in 2024. So, and it's it's the International Treaty on Pandemic Prevention and Preparedness, y'all. So you already know this is going to be a daily thing. So on that note, I'm going to hand it off to our guest. Right here is the good brother. So let me add this guy to the screen. And you are on, God.
Thank you. I wanted to tell you first, thank you, obviously, for allowing me to speak on the platform and share the information that I have. And also, don't mind Blue in the back. My daughter's watching something. So,
No, you.
yeah, I wanted to share with you guys, well, first and foremost, my name is Sharif, but everyone calls me Shy, as I put down there as my name down there. And I just wanted to let you guys know that my history and my background is in various areas, but I really love technology, so much so to the point where I'm actually in school right now for cybersecurity, and really going through the process and learning a lot of things that I think are amazing. But today we are talking about websites, e-commerce. That's what we're talking about today. So I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen with you guys so we can get started on that. If you have any questions, please be sure to just leave them in the chat, the comments. Share screen. All right. Uh-oh.
And like I'm telling y'all, like this is some important stuff that you guys need to actually understand. Like if you don't have a fully functioning website, you need to start building one. So that's part of the web 1.0. People were talking about websites back in the 2000s and even in the 1990s. And people didn't think that, like, oh, who needs a website? This is the same people who said, oh, who needs cars? Well, we have horses, right? So anyway.
Correct.
You get it loaded up, or do you need me to pull it up?
Give me a moment. It's requiring me to give access, so I gotta open preferences and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, like
which I don't know. I couldn't just go directly there.
We got to get y'all also comfortable with like, navigating on websites.
You can. I'm. One second. I'm just allowing access to be able to share my screen.
Okay. Yeah, because I've seen it too many times where people are like, where is it on your website? I'm like, yeah, just go ahead and navigate through the website, get comfortable.
Screen share.
What about apps instead of websites? I think I think it's a good practice if you have at least your website. And then if you want to have apps as well, that wouldn't be a bad thing. But the thing is that you have to understand is that
I'm gonna have to quit now and come back in order to share my screen. So I'll be right back. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so
it's just requiring me to go out and come back in.
That's fine. Yeah, so what you have to understand is that there's going to be two different interfaces when it comes to apps. You're going to have to upload to the Google Play Store, and you're also going to have to upload to the Apple Store. And each one of them has different requirements when it comes to actually, uploading your APK, which is like the actual, I guess, programming of the app And so there's security requirements. There's also certain features that have to actually be built into your app. And then you have to meet their stringent requirements. And then you have to constantly pushing out updates. So it's going to really require a really, teams focus when it comes to these apps, because, when you're managing by yourself, woo, that's a lot of work. And plus you got to manage the GUI, or the user interface. And so you have to lay out that template just to make sure that, okay, does it look right? Do the buttons function the way they're supposed to function? So you got to do some code. Yeah, so that's why, to kind of get people like up, at least caught up to 1.0, folks need to actually have a website, because, there's a lot of things that people have a lot of gifts for. And it's just like, yeah, you need to at least, show the world what you can offer. And by having a website, it's like the first barrier to entry. And then if you want to get fancy, you have apps, maybe even dive into blockchain. That's like Web 2.0. My thoughts on that. And then we got the God on here. That's the sucky part, but that was always my thought process, was to do an app versus a website. Yeah. And I get it. And and the other thing is that you can, if you want to pay somebody to actually build the app for you, and then you manage it on the back end, if you're familiar with just kind of like app management and things of that nature, you could do it that way. But again, if something goes horribly wrong, then you won't know how to actually, okay, what do I need to do to fix it? Or if something just like is not syncing with your website. So let's say if you wanted to, create an app that syncs with your website, and, maybe there's certain things that are not talking to each other. So you have to really understand that dynamic, because you don't just want a standalone app that's not connected to your website, because you want people sometimes like, oh, I don't want to feel like downloading the app. Some people just want to type in a domain, like literally. So that's one thing. So, I mean, yeah, I get it. Well, they have websites that turn into your websites. Yeah, this is true. But again, it's all about that management, right? How you actually want to manage that. And you can do it through like simple programs, but it's just really about managing it. And then does it meet the security requirements, and does it meet the formats on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store, because both of them, one's more stringent than the other. Can you build apps for us? Ooh, no, y'all. I'm not gonna do all that. That's a lot more work than I have the time for. That's funny. Let me see if everything's all right with the brother. Thought we got this straightened out, y'all. Sorry for the delay. Let me see if I'll text the brother. I got a brother that says he's been going to school for coding, so if he's confident, I'll shoot him y'all's way, of course. Oh, absolutely, God. Yeah, definitely. If people want to actually, help, dive into the technology space, that'll be great. And that's kind of like the focus of this class, is just kind of the technology ministry. It's just, we need more people to be more comfortable playing with tech, right? It can't just be 1 to 2 to 3 people who are familiar with the tech stuff and actually can do the stuff. So, and even for the babies, like the youth has to get comfortable with technology in general, especially when it comes to programming drones, automation, blockchain, websites, apps. I mean, you name it. Like, people need to really be comfortable coding. So that's really the whole purpose. And so I thought this would be a really, really good introduction. And we actually can go through like even some real-time examples of just like building the actual website. And that's the whole purpose. And so we want to show people. So let me go ahead and add the God back.
Okay.
We all good?
Yes, sir. I'm here to checking to see if it will let me present now.
Okay. Yeah, and if you need to, like, if your presentation is not too big, you should be able to add it, like for slides and stuff like that, and or if it's easier just to share your screen. So either way.
Okay.
Let me see what the guy says. Yeah, I want to get Dom into coding for sure. Yeah, gotta get Dom into coding. because that's important. Our babies need to get into coding, y'all. I'm telling you. Let me see what this is. I'm in Wix partner and do logo designs. Ooh, you about to take that? Okay, yeah, that's literally when you're doing the user interface and the GUI. Like that's like the most important thing, because, and that goes into the same thing as like websites and apps. But like when people go to your website, does it look nice? Does it look professional? Do people like, oh yeah, like, hold on, let me add to the screen. Sorry. Yeah, we can talk about that a little bit later, but
No,
the brother kind of like so yes, sir. You go ahead. You got the flow, God. You got the flow. So
all right. Yeah. So pretty much actually I heard the brother Kojo saying some things about the user interface and different things like that, and that is important. But a lot of people focus very heavily on user interface and don't focus on the functionality of the particular website or app or whatever it might be. And to answer the brother's question who asked earlier, he said, what about apps? They all stem from the same place. Don't get caught up on the words. The words are just, illusions. They're all the same thing, but a website, I still think, is a necessity when you have a business, because that is what people, it's like a standard. Let's just put it like that. So we can have as many digital business cards as we want, but you still need the paper ones just because. So I'm going to jump right in here. I'm not going to fully expand the screen, but if you guys check it out here, you see that e-commerce, all the money is made online. So we're going to jump directly into it. First things first, I want to talk about a little bit of history, of e-commerce. I heard the brother earlier say that, something about the 90s. And I wanted to show him right here that this thing goes back as far as 1979. First electronic shopping invented in 1979. Now, someone figured out, this guy right here, Michael Aldrich, figured out that they could transfer in from 1979. In 1983, California got on the, this internet commerce thing is about. And mind you, a browser wasn't even invented in 1983, but they jumped on and started trying to come up with legislation because, California's greedy, so they need to figure out a way to get their money. So 1984, CompuServe opens electronic mall. This it was too early for its time. And you can check out some of the videos online on YouTube about how this came and went. But this was like Amazon, like is now. And once again, still did not have a browser. And this is actually owned by Verizon now. This was 1990 when they first introduced the first browser, which was called World Wide Web. And they had to rename this to Nexus because World Wide Web was getting a little bit confusing between www and the name of the actual, browser. And then the first secure online transaction was in 1994. Okay. This took a whole 10 years over 10 years from when they started, like really, it's insane how far. So when we say, most people aren't even on Web 1, think about this, when it started. Think about when, the first transaction was done, and then boom, you had Amazon, eBay in 1995. So, the marketplace opened up and still people are questioning whether a website is a necessity or, the biggest e-commerce anything right now is websites, and look at how far they've come. So 1995 is when Amazon and eBay went live. And the rest is history. So we're going to move a little past this history and move into types of e-commerce businesses. So you have C2B, and I'm going to go back over these in a second. C2B, which is consumer to business. You have direct to consumer. You have business to business. You have business to consumer. You have business to government, and you have consumer to consumer. Starting here, consumer to consumer is like eBay. Consumer to business is more along the lines of businesses bidding for the customers that they want. So imagine, like, I don't know if anybody's ever used like Thumbtack, but that would be, you know, that kind of thing right there. Direct to consumer is what we mainly do, which is, you know, pretty much selling on your website. B2B, business to business, obviously, you know that from one business to the other. This business to consumer is when one business helps another business sell to a consumer. So this is almost like affiliate marketing. And obviously, you know what business to government is, government contracting. All right, so we're going to move along. It talks about types of e-commerce businesses. So we have the physical, which is cool, physical products that we can sell. We have digital products that we can sell. And you see I have a little green star right there. Because this right here is where people need to be right now. And then this right here, services. This is something to keep your eye on. That's why I got the little, you know, little eye right there. But and the reason why I say this is where you need to be is because this requires you to use your brain, put some things in play, and then you can make money off of what you did last year. Versus this, it requires you to have a lot of things in stock. You got to keep up with, you know, inventory and all of these different things. Not saying it's bad, but we need to be looking towards more digital products and sharing proper information. Sharing proper information. I want to look at the screen when I say this. Like, I want to see myself. I want to see a few comments as well too. I can't stress enough how we need to share proper information. The internet right now has so many people trying to get into the digital market space that they don't care what they share. But the value in sharing the proper information, I mean, it's insane. You know, I spoke with Kojo, last week it was, right? Was it last week we spoke?
Yeah, it was last week.
So about, you know, the indigenous paradigm, right. So the indigenous paradigm and certain things, you know, that pertaining to business, and how the product is such an amazing product, and how there's so many other people trying to emulate and do this and do that and all that kind of stuff, and to get people in trouble. Man, you can, like I said, digital products, non-physical products is really where it's at. So, and like I said, services. This is going to become the new hot thing because people are looking for community. And if you can build your services around community, you can, you know, really, really win. I mean, like, really win. So, yeah. And I'm going to move on from there. I digress. But the point is that, yes, digital, and to kind of move away from just trying to be, you know, warehouses. You know, there's a time and place for it, but I think we need to kind of leave that alone a little bit. All right. Some things to know. There are some advantages and disadvantages to e-commerce. The number one disadvantage to e-commerce is to get into things like cybersecurity, data security. This is where you would be. And I'm not gonna lie to you. If you have to have the job that you need to have, I mean, the entry level is $80,000. So just let you know. Customer care has decreased decreases as we get more into e-commerce. Internet access is obviously required. So those those potential clients who don't have a stable internet access, which surprisingly, it's a lot of people, will not be able to participate. Now, the upsides to this is we have global markets, lower costs because you don't have to have fancy anything at this particular point. You know, the ability to scale up very quickly. So e-commerce has grown to 14.8% of all retail as of Q4 of 2022. That's about $150 billion just online. So just letting you know what that is. You guys can do the math to see what the other, total it up to 100. All right. So the future trends of e-commerce. E-commerce is just a reflection of where life is heading in general. I don't know if you guys have heard of OpenAI, which is the company that makes ChatGPT. I don't know if you've heard of Jarvis, but Jarvis is like a ChatGPT on steroids as it pertains to writing, and Write as well too is an artificial intelligence that writes. Definitely not as good as Jarvis. ChatGPT just launched their paid version for $20 a month. Just launched it. Jarvis has been around. I kept telling people about Jarvis about a year and a half ago that this thing blew my mind. I saw it. Say it again.
Okay, say that again. Sorry.
Oh no, I thought you were saying something. I was telling people about Jarvis about a year and a half ago. This thing blew my mind. I saw it go from its infancy stages where this thing was pretty bad to, being something that, literally would write a whole essay for you in a matter of seconds. It's amazing. I think it's much better than OpenAI as it pertains, ChatGPT as it pertains to writing. But e-commerce is heading in the way of artificial intelligence. So that's why I have these guys here. I also have this, I forgot what this is called, and this Echo here, because there's another part of e-commerce that's growing, which is called voice commerce, where you just speak to the machine. Hey, listen, I need some eggs. Oh, you need some eggs? Okay, cool. Put it on the list. And that's where we're going with this. I would be very wary of these things right here, though, because there's some other things going on behind the scenes as it pertains to especially Amazon and their mics never turning off. But nonetheless, that's where we're heading in terms of e-commerce. People are not even talking anymore. Like you thought it was bad going to the grocery store. Now it's, hey, put some eggs on the list, and it's done. And literally, if you have a Whole Foods in your area, they'll deliver it in 2 hours. So this is getting crazy. This is called conversation commerce. Okay, this right here is artificial intelligence writing back and forth via text message, dropping customized landing pages in your text message, because someone came to your website and said, hey, they came to your website and they signed up for a particular thing through a particular funnel, and it logged them and tagged them as, the person that likes Jeeps. So now every week or every other week, it's sending you messages on what are the, and having full out conversations with you. Even if you say, yeah, you know what, don't hit me up anymore. Okay, sure, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Or you know what, tell me more about that. Well, we have down payment plans, blah, blah, blah. This is artificial intelligence. So conversation commerce, all stemming from a website. Stemming from a website. So, it's just insane. Now, this stuff over here is just augmented reality. You see this picture right here of can you guys, can they see my mouse moving across the screen? Or no?
Where's your mouse? Where's your mouse?
Oh, the mouse
is... we see it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this right here is augmented reality. Once again, I tell you, be very careful with Amazon, because they're interesting. So with that being said, this chair is not in the room. What you can do is you download this app, and you allow them access from the app that you have right now. You allow them access to your camera and your microphone. And what will happen is they will place a chair in your room to show you how it looks. Oh, I don't like that one. I like another one. So I'll just do that. Okay, I don't like that one. Oh, I love this one. Okay, cool. Let's change the color. Let's see. Augmented reality is becoming a part of e-commerce. So, Web 1, What are we even talking about anymore? We're talking about AI texting you back, and we're talking about you seeing that chair before you had to buy it. You know, this is augmented reality. A guy helping him with his with fixing a car. You know, so he's able to purchase items that he may need, or the thing is telling him what is what. So this is Maverio. I don't even know how you say this, but I know I came across this and was like, whoa, you know, telling him what he needs, different parts, how much they cost, where you can get the best price, blah, 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 blah. All from this little stupid thing he's wearing on his head. This is where e-commerce is going. Another place that e-commerce is going is here. And I know some of you are familiar with this. This is a future trend. This is Stellar Lumen. This is obviously Bitcoin, Algorand, Hedera Hashgraph, XRP, and Quant. And these are cryptocurrencies. If we are not familiar with what's going on right here, then I don't really know where we've been. If another thing is recognizing the reason why I put these on the screen, 5 out of the 6 are what the Federal Reserve has said they're going to work with. Well, actually, the World Economic Forum said they're going to work with them. And I don't know if you guys know, but the Federal Reserve is launching a program called FedWire that launches in, supposed to start in May. Supposed to start in May, between May and July, where they start rolling out their CBDC, their central bank digital currency.
Yep, we talked about that.
Okay, so yeah, so right in line with that. So they're launching that out, rolling that out. So it's supposed to start in May, but I'm not really sure, between May and July, but we know it's coming this year. Now, these are the backers of the system that the CBDC is running on. This was used for, let me not get into that. But the point is that if you don't know what these are, then I think you really need to get into understanding what these are, because man, the future is already here. People are already taking these things, well, this as payments. They're taking Bitcoin as payments on their website. It all starts from the same place. It all starts. The problem that I notice is we want to fly before we can even crawl.
Right.
You know, we want to go crazy, but that's not, you know, that's not how this works. Let's start from the very beginning. Now, the biggest trend that I see happening is you participating. Because here's the thing, man. And this is where I go on my little rant. Nothing is going to save us but us. At the end of the day, nothing is going to save us but us. I spent years in the music industry. I still get placements. I just got a placement. Well, last year I got a placement on a couple of shows. I did All the Queensmen for the Tyler Perry studios or whatever. And I remember when they were saying, streaming is going to save the music industry. Streaming is going to save the music industry. Streaming did not save the music industry. Like, you know, for lack of a better term, I've never seen people get more whipped than when streaming. And I was going to curse, but I decided not to. But the point is, I've never seen people get more whipped than when streaming came out. Streaming pretty much made every artist guarantee they wasn't getting a check, because it takes so many streams in order to get a couple of dollars. But I remember, oh man, when this comes out, it's gonna be amazing. And this is the same thing for every technology. It does not matter what the technology is. It doesn't matter. If you don't utilize it and put it to work and say, how can I teach my brother? How can I teach my sister, and work together to build things? It doesn't matter what the technology is supposed to do. Someone else is going to come and use it to beat you up. So that's kind of the thing that I really want to see this year is participation. You know, and I made this brief because I really like answering questions more than I like doing presentations. So your participation, we're going to jump right into what's next. We want to see you participate in a website. Now, I build my websites for WordPress because WordPress is 43% of the global market share of websites on the internet. 43%. It has a lot of free useful resources and a lot free resources and a large community. 58,000 plugins, a lot of them are free. And trust me, there's a lot more coming online. There are new developers every single day. And it's just an amazing opportunity to get your feet wet when it comes down to it. And this is called a content management system. There are other content management systems: Joomla, Drupal, Magento, PrestaShop, HubSpot, CMS, Sitecore, Kintinko, Shopify, Wix, Weebly, so forth and so on. But like I said, WordPress is the largest and has the most resources. There are ups and downs to this, but it is what it is. Obviously, if you want to build a website, you have to have hosting. And here are some of the most popular hosting websites. But I wouldn't be me if I didn't tell you that I love Hostinger, because my company, what we do, Gold Standard Consumer Consultants, is we go out and we find the best deals. And right now, Hostinger is the best deal. I don't have any loyalty to any of these businesses because they don't have any loyalty to us. They will change on you. Matter of fact, you get a cell phone, you get the great deal today, and it's tomorrow somebody get a better deal than you. You've been with the company for 5, 10, 15 years. Everybody got a good deal. You go there, you paying $900. Everybody else is, So there's no loyalty to these companies. I go and I find the best deals and try to get. And right now, the best deals is Hostinger because Hostinger is new, but they are really, really working hard to keep someone as a customer. And as well, of course, it wouldn't be me if I didn't do a shameless plug where I tell you that you can learn how to build a website for free. I sat down, did a course where I charge you nothing. Okay? I charge you nothing. No, listen, look me in my eyes. I charge you nothing. And the reason why is because I was not doing it for the purpose of making money. If you get the best out of the situation, I'm going to make money. So the point is that I wanted you guys to be able to, I wanted anybody to be able to go and learn how to build a website. I say 20 minutes, it take about 30, I ain't gonna lie. And it might take you about 2 hours. I'm not gonna front with you. But the reality of it is that you can go there and learn for free. All you have to do is sign up and take the class. And so, yeah, I like I said, I wanted to keep it brief because I really didn't want to, I wanted to keep things brief. I didn't want to bog you down with a whole bunch of pictures on the screen. I wanted to answer more questions if anybody had any questions. And so with that, that's the last slide. I wanted to just say thank you.
No, I appreciate that, God. And before we go into like kind of like Q&A, I wanted to actually just like share my screen with some folks, share with folks to see just like, let's say, cost is an issue or something like that. And they just like, oh, I just want to, okay, everybody's familiar with Wix, everybody's familiar with GoDaddy, everybody's familiar with HostGator, all that stuff. But like literally there's templates. Let's say you don't like, man, like I ain't got no creativity. Okay. Templates that you can pull from. And it's not even that difficult. You just go to them, edit like you've seen in real time. Right. And the other thing is that, you do need a domain. They're cheap. People used to be back in the day flipping domains. People would literally buy domains. And then they knew that the person was going to eventually need it because they did some analytics and research. And then they would sell it to like, $10,000 to like, $20,000, for, the domain. But that's besides the point. So what I'm trying to say is that, look, you can just add elements that you may need, like whether it's text, images. It's really not that difficult. Images, let's say you wanted to just focus on the store of your product. You can do it where it's a slide, related, shopping cart. I mean, like, these are the things that are going to, and a lot of the stuff is already set up in the template. So if you just don't like maybe some of these things, you can just do a quick edit and really change you know, what the background looks like. So you can change it to like, I don't know, maybe you're into health. So boom, like you can change that. You can change this color. I mean, like I'm trying to get y'all to be very comfortable that it's not as technical as it used to be.
Not at
Now
all.
you can do custom, and that's where it gets a little bit technical. But for those who are like, man, I just, you know, I have an idea and I want to test it. Well, you know, you can go and test it on the template, get your website, you know, literally this can be made, and then you can upgrade it later once you're ready to actually launch your stuff and test it and see how the market responds to it. Right. Let me think of some other. There was another thing I wanted to share too.
Before you go any further, I wanted to ditto on that. I mean, I say the same exact thing. When I show you how to build a website, I say use templates. That's what they're there for. You know, this way you can get your footing together, and once you have your footing, then you can do whatever else you need to do. But you have to get one up. Like, there's no way around it. You know, there's just no way around it. So yeah, that's what, you know, I wanted to do with that. But continue.
No, and it's just like you were saying, like it's really, really, really easy. Like, and some people are like, oh, well, I ain't got the time. Well, hold on, let me not do this in front of everybody. Let me stop sharing my screen because, you know, cybersecurity. Share my screen. Okay, so
right.
People are like, oh well, I ain't got the time to like manage, you know, a website, and can I just like pay somebody? But it's just like, yo, it's really not that difficult to manage templates and have, you know, a security feature that like kind of scans your website just to make sure everything's up to snuff, and you can manage it that way. It's the idea is that there are templates there that made it really easy. Even if you just go to Shopify too, that's another one that like it's a little, everything's like kind of all there. You can get domain, you get stuff, servers, you can use it, drop shipping if you wanted to do that. But the idea is that these websites, they're not that difficult to create and manage.
Not at all.
So
not at all. And like at this stage of the game, I saw a comment that said I had one years ago and didn't know what to do with it, so I kept it for writing blogs. I mean, that's a great idea. I mean, even writing blogs, if you understand SEO, you can really make some money using those blogs for niched content to be able to make some decent money. So, I mean, it really is. I see a question down there.
Well, we got some folks commenting.
How do we navigate the shipping? Like Amazon has free shipping or 2-day Prime shipping. Okay, I see the shipping thing. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If people really like your product, no one really cares about the shipping. I'll be truthfully honest. If people really appreciate, see, the main part of e-commerce that I'm noticing right now is the fact of the matter that you have to begin to build a community of people. People must trust you. People must like you. They must want your product, and they must take your product over any other product that you put out there, whatever it is. Even if you're selling soap with integrity, you're selling soap with the best product. Because, man, when I tell you that soap is garbage, you go to the store, it's garbage. So if you can sell this soap with integrity, and I apologize, my wife was saying something to me. If you can sell soap with integrity, trust me, no one cares that your shipping might be $10. They're going to buy enough to make that $10 worth their while. You know, so I do understand that. And if you're talking about actually managing shipping, the website manages shipping. So you don't even have to worry about, you don't have to, I apologize.
No, I'm saying right. Like I was agreeing with you.
Yeah. So, you don't have to worry about shipping and management and all that kind of good stuff. It literally, you pop a plugin in and it tells you, okay, yeah, this way, you know, obviously you would have to put in the weight of the product, or you could do flat rate shipping. I mean, the post office does flat rate shipping. Whatever you can fit in that box, it goes. You know, overnight, $27. if you wanted to get there sometime in the week, it might be $9 to get it in there. But yeah, it's not a big issue, to be honest with you. I think that the fear of doing things is, kind of the thing that holds us back.
Yeah, and you're spot on, and it's a matter of, are you shipping really good product, and then you can build in the cost of shipping, based off of the how much you want to price the actual product, and so that way it can cover the shipping, and that way you're not eating into your margins or whatever the case is. But the idea is that if you have an idea of what something is going to basically cost for shipping, based off of, weighing it and things of that nature and shipping it off to whether it's post office, UPS, or FedEx, or whatever the case is, you can get a general idea of how much to actually charge people for shipping, and people will pay for it.
Absolutely.
So, and I see that. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I apologize.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just looking down here and I saw someone say, I'm looking into subscription-based products. And once again, that goes back to community. That's all we're talking about. That's why I put an I by services, because the community you're offering, the community is the service. That's really the whole thing. What we need is real communities online, real groups of people that are sharing real, true information. There's so many people out here talking crazy, that have you in jail, or that have you completely not getting what you signed. Oh yeah, we'll teach you how to, and then you're like, wait, I came here to make dog snacks, and I ain't made a dog snack yet. Trust me, I've been a victim of it. I paid $1,000 for a course to teach me how to use what was it? Something on Facebook. Oh, Facebook ads. Right. You think I ever launched a Facebook ad campaign that was good? Terrible. Never learned anything. But matter of fact, when I went to go do the process, all the videos were all over the place. They were in different formats. I was like, this is crazy. But that's what I'm saying. Information.
So Shannon is asking, what's your thoughts on learning Python and creating smart contracts? I think that's a good, thought process, is getting into that space of learning how to program in Python and smart contracting. And there's courses that you can take on that where you can actually learn that stuff too, and actually get certification in that, and that would take you into the blockchain space, which is one of the Web 3.0s that we discussed earlier, right? So yes. Sister said,
so yeah, I mean, anytime you get into a space where you're learning how to, I don't know if it's a delay.
Is it a delay on me, or I'm not sure?
It might be on us. I don't know. You started talking, and I don't know. This is weird.
You know how it goes there and that. So I was just saying there was another comment from the sister. She was saying her name is Terry Reed and she got a business app for that code. Again, it's kind of like, what the guy was saying, that you guys really should focus on having a website fully developed and functioning. And basically, app, website, we're talking about the same thing. One's just probably a derivative of the other. And in my opinion, the app is a derivative of a website.
Website. It's a nugget off the chicken. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of wordplay, because none of the things that we're talking about are, like fancy or exclusive. Like when we talk about cryptography, like cryptocurrencies, I mean, there's barely any difference between the password that you use on your Gmail and cryptography. It's the same thing. We're talking about just higher levels of the same thing. And people try to make it seem like it's more complex than that, but it's really not. I mean, the point is, get your hands in the dirt. Get to work, and I guarantee you everything else. You'll start to see everything else and be like, oh, So all these people were just kind of playing on my ignorance, really, you know, because you could do that yourself. You know, you could really do that yourself.
Correct. We got somebody else's piece. Oh yeah, this brother right here started a business where if you have indigenous businesses or business in general, come to the website. It's like kind of like a marketplace for other businesses. So it's like a directory. So from my understanding, definitely reach out to the brother colored copper people. I think that's the website, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely reach out to the God on that. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. As nationals, should we go for government contracts? Are there specific contracts for tribes? Yes, there is, and you should go. You should go for any type of contract. So let me show you kind of an example of what I mean by that. It's not just kind of a a blanket statement. So I'll share my screen just real quick, just to answer that question real quick. So you see my screen right here, right? So if we actually go in and zoom in, this is a grant. Says Native American, federally recognized. That's not what ARNA is, right? And then it says Native American tribal organizations other than federally recognized tribal governments. That's where ARNA fits in, right? So this is one, if you're in the health space, you could apply for this and get this grant, right? So I want nationals to understand, and also IPA nationals as well, that don't get thrown off where you see, just federally recognized. They usually slide in other than federally recognized tribal governments or tribal organizations. That's where you could take a play and actually take a stab at it, right? So you're like, well, is there a lot of them or is that just one? Well, here's where you type in tribal. This is what pops up, is all of these different grants, government contracts that you can apply for, and the list goes on and on. So to answer that question, yes. So hopefully that makes sense on that. And then I think there's a kind of a technical question too. How important is it having our own servers and building e-commerce? Does it matter? I'll let you take that one, God, if you want to, because I know my thoughts on it. But
I think it's extremely important. I think that once again, I think it's I'm glad you asked the question, but it's kind of, let's start small, because that's such a big undertaking. But I do believe that it's a necessity. I do believe that it's a necessity. I mean, it's data, and if you don't control the data, I mean, you don't control anything. I mean, it's just as simple as that. Control the data, you control everything. So yes, I think it's extremely important. I just didn't want to say things like that, but y'all want to take it there, right? But I didn't want to say things like that because I know that sometimes it could be a little bit scary when we start talking about large things, because when you have servers, now we're talking about IT departments and where are you going to house those things, and then we're talking about electrical bills and blah 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 blah. Like there's a whole thing that goes along with that. That's not just keep it in my house type of thing. So that's the only reason why I didn't go there. But absolutely.
And you're right. Like all that stuff is spot on, and it is important for sure. And it's very important to actually for nationals to start thinking about that, because that's part of the technology ministry, which is what the focus is today, right? As well as the economic ministry, but technology is a really big focus. And so even if like this is one of the projects that I'm even working on, and this is something that we already have a server within ARNA, and it just takes a little bit of programming and things of that nature that we need to do and managing of that stuff. But like something that's a small project that any national can do is like, okay, let me build my own server that can host or hold all my videos or movies and stuff like that, and see if you can build it. Like you can take used or seemingly fairly used devices off of whether it's Amazon or eBay, and then kind of like piece it all together and then you can either pay somebody to do the user interface to interface within, the server, and then, set up the security. And, I know this gets into, like the brother was saying, IT space, but like these are the type of discussions that we have to be putting in our mind and really start to thinking, because granted, we have people who in higher spaces or just, the platforms that we use that are censoring us, right? And so, or stealing our data. And so we need to be able to manage that stuff properly. So we need to start thinking about that and actually start executing and playing within and experimenting with it so that we can create kind of like a network. So anyway, let me see what else. I'm scrolling down. Sister says she appreciates the presentation, God.
Oh man, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for tuning in.
Yep, and for everybody, color copy people. Yep, that's the actual. And then peace. And I guess you already answered this question right here, right? Just making sure. Did we answer this question? When we get into e-commerce, we answered it, right?
Which one is it? I can't even. Oh,
yeah.
Yes, yeah, we did.
Yeah, just making sure. Okay. So let me make sure about this. No other questions for the family? Because I'm about to.
I want to go back to that question too.
Which question?
That question, the last question that, I had a conversation with my son about 3 weeks ago, and we were talking about drones. And there's a guy by the name of, his name is Maxwell Chicambusto. He created a drone that pretty much runs on radio frequencies. And, I was talking to my son and asking him, hey, listen, what do you think about that? What could you do? And he brought up a point about delivery and how we could start using those things to get into delivery and stuff like that as well too. Because he's into that kind of stuff or whatever the case may be. But we really do have to start thinking outside of the box as it pertains to, just little things that we can do. There's so much opportunity to be great right now. It's like the Wild Wild West. Nobody really knows what's actually happening. We're just here. We have no regulations on most of the stuff that's coming out, and it's like the Wild Wild West. So you have the opportunity to be able to build things right now that you just were not able to build 10, 15 years ago. So like I said, you can actually take over a new style of shipping. I mean, I do know that Walmart is using their planes in like Arkansas to deliver packages, like little RC planes to drop packages in your backyard and stuff like that. And of course, Amazon tried that. They're having a little bit of issues, but I mean, you can definitely, try your best to right now is the time, but it all starts with you. The reason for building a website is to understand the basics of everything. That's the real point of what we're getting at here. If we can start on the bottom level, then anything else is just going to be super easy to do, So, yeah, I'm going to kick it back over to you.
Yes, sir. So we see a question that came through. Can you touch on the importance of operating your website in Web 3.0? Yeah, so I'll give my take and then I'll let the brother take his take. So the reason why you want to have, it's important to have your website to be able to operate in the space of Web 3.0. So let's say you're doing business, whatever business you're running, and somebody's like, hey, okay, this is great. I love the product, or I love the service that you're about to offer. Can I pay you in Bitcoin? And you're like, let me think about that. I don't know if I'm not set up for that. And there's literally on the back end of like some of these websites like WordPress or, these other platforms that you can literally just download the plugin to have yourself set up to be able to accept payments. So that way it takes the thinking out of that aspect of it. But also, let's say they're like, well, I don't want to, necessarily deal with, I don't want to deal with going through your website that's set up like kind of that way. But there's like, what's that domain? Do you remember the actual domain that I'm thinking about? It's for where you can actually, it's like set up for cryptocurrency to accept payments. It's like 123 domains or something like that. I can't even remember. Have you heard of that before?
No. Where you can, what do you do there again?
Yeah, give me one second. It's like basically the person just types in your URL address, and then they're able to actually send cryptocurrency through that actual website. So yeah, let me actually pull it up so I can show people, because I think that's also important to actually have that type of domain set up as well, so that you can accept payments through that.
Unstoppable domain? Is that
there you go. Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Unstoppable domain. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait. I was like, that's a thing. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, you want to have that type of stuff so that way, in case someone's like, well, I don't want to actually have to go through your website, like that type of way through your website. I want to do it in a different way. Speaking of which, somebody just called me. I don't know why they call. And at least you're equipped to actually accept payments, and so that aspect, that's very important. And then if you wanted to actually, let's say, do a little bit more, and you want to incorporate NFTs like as almost like a thank you. So you're like, how does one even do that? I give you a simple example. So if you still go to basketball games, and let's say you went to a basketball game in Texas, you went to the Dallas Mavericks game. Well, if you went to the game as a thank you free token, Mark Cuban would give you an NFT of a NBA player of the team as a thank you, and you could keep that, and that could hold some type of value, or you could sell it or do whatever the case is. And that may be a little bit advanced, but like you still see, and this was like 2 years ago, that I'm like, oh damn, like you get an NFT just for showing up to the game as a thank you. Like if that was 2 years ago, you really want to start thinking like that in that aspect, because people always want to, ask the question, what is the value that you're bringing? Like, how much value am I getting by doing business with you? And, so I'll hand the mic to the God on that one.
I don't disagree with anything you just said. I think it's extremely important. I just don't want to get caught up on words, right? The only difference between Web3 and Web1 is ownership. That's it. Ownership. There's literally no difference. The infrastructure is still the same. It's like when people say, oh yeah, it's in the cloud. It's on the server.
Right.
It's in the same place it always was, in the cloud. The difference is that they stealing your data. That's all. That's the only difference. Like, oh yeah, I want to put this picture of my naked picture up there. I want to see my body. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put that on someone else's server. That's all you did. Like, there's no. I mean, we all do it, but. Reality of it is that that's all it is. There's no difference between Web3 and Web1, man. It's a lot of games with words. But yes, it's extremely important. That's the only difference, is ownership. And if that's the only difference, in that I'm about to contradict myself, then that means that it's everything, right? So yeah.
Let's see. We got to say, copy that on the work and labor needed to fuel and maintain the servers. I'm not afraid of the big stuff. I like to learn how to build a server on a small scale. Okay, I think we may have to do a class on that. I know a brother that has shown me how to actually do it, and it's just a matter of me kind of like actually making the time to do it. And just getting the parts and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll make a note of that. And the brother says, cool. And the difference, yep, spot on. And then
Oh, I wanted
delivery.
to jump in here. We said something a little earlier about accepting payments, and
Mhm.
one of the popular websites is called AAA. Popular plugins, pardon me, is called AAA for
Mhm.
WooCommerce, which is for WordPress, and
Right.
it allows for you to take payments in cryptocurrency. So yeah, just to add on to what you said.
No, like that's good. Like, and I was trying to see if I can, but you can keep talking on that point. I'm about to actually try to pull up and show them, but I need to make sure that there's no sensitive information before I actually share my screen. So,
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, just to give y'all a quick tip on a security tip. Uh, the longer your password, the better. So all the complicated letters that you may use, if you only use 4, no, you need to add on some more letters. Like I said, the longer the password, the harder it is to break the encryption.
right, and you want to have plugins to, well, not just say plugins, but you basically want to make sure you have security for your website, because there's going to be just bots constantly attacking your website, y'all. Um, and so you need to at least be familiar with, okay, how do I handle that aspect of it? So security is going to be very important moving forward in general. So okay, I got it. So let me share my screen. Hopefully this ain't no crazy information. So everybody see my screen? All
Yes,
right.
sir. It's coming
So
up.
you see this?
You got it.
Kojo just said Kojo ain't talking crazy, right? This is on the Hawab website, Hawab DFW, as you see. Look, crypto payment. So this has been there forever. This is not something that was just added. It's active. You can send crypto payments. Okay, let me zoom in. Let me see if I can even zoom in. Crypto payment. So if you want to pay in crypto, we've been able to accept crypto for a while, and people have paid in the past. So you see AI powered marketing. Folks, this is stuff that has been on the Hawab website. And y'all be like, dang, how you manage that along with your other stuff? Look, listen, y'all. You're gonna have to get into the mindset. You're gonna have to think bigger. You're gonna have to expand your, just kind of stretch yourself a little bit. And even if it feels like it's a lot, that's a good thing. That means you're not getting comfortable. Because when you get comfortable in complacency, you just onto a rut. So let me stop sharing my screen because I don't know if there's any sensitive information. So all right. Let me see if there's any comments below. People saying security tip. All right, yep. Sounds good, yup. Good stuff. Yep. Okay. Any other questions, y'all? I mean, like, this is what we're kind of here for. Like, again, we can do kind of like what we talked about earlier, but the idea is that, oops, let me make sure. Yeah, the idea is that you should be able to get yourself launched on a website relatively easy if you don't have a website. And some of y'all may be thinking like, man, I'm just kind of scared. I don't know how to do the website. I keep pointing y'all to like Wix, because it's like, it doesn't matter whether it's Wix, GoDaddy, whoever. The idea is that there's templates already. So all you got to do is just plug and play, have a little bit of creativity.
Sure.
Even if you don't have any creativity, the idea is just test the market and see what it is that they like about the services and products that you offer. The idea is to, like we always talk about, add value. So
Sure.
let me make sure. So let me see if I can just like do this real quick. So if I were to look at this, you can even add content. This is crazy. So you can connect your social medias, y'all. Like I'll tell y'all, like your business. They got bro. Like, listen, you can add apps. I'm just trying to like get y'all in the space where if you don't have a website in 2023, I'm not sure where you've been.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't
like,
know, but
even if it's just your national name, like .com.
Get
like,
it.
Get it. Like, y'all, like,
Get
like,
it.
oh,
there's no need to not have one. It's crazy. The average person needs to have one. You know, like really at this stage of the game, the average person, you don't even have to have a business. Just you need a website. Like it just is what it is. We're at the space now where, you know, your baby talking about, you know, you got a little child that they need a website. Get them running. You know, man, it's just no need right now for you not to have a website. It's no excuse. That's what I was trying to say. No excuse.
Oh, that's exactly it. And that's what we're trying to like. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Printful. Some of y'all who are creatives, or maybe you just want to throw your idea of like, let me throw a slogan on a shirt and see what happens. You can do that and see what happens, y'all. Like literally.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And make money.
It might be great. It might be
not
so great, but at least you did it.
Right, and it cost you nothing. It literally cost you nothing. It did not cost you anything. So people say, yes, Kojo, you're right. Competency, complacency, yep. Absolutely. And then we got, what wallets are you guys using for crypto transactions?
Definitely Nano for me.
Right. Nano Ledger Nano X for me.
Exactly. Nano Ledger X. I got an S. You need 10 of them over time. You just grab one. And, oh yeah, I'm in the store. Grab another one. You know, you need them. So just keep them. Yeah, but yeah, definitely Ledger for sure.
Yeah, and you know, let's say, and don't buy that stuff off of like third platforms. Go directly to the source. We talked about this before because they can basically hack it and then corrupt it and then get all your crypto and then boom, you're assed out, right? So don't do that. Go straight to the source, and be leery about that stuff whenever people are trying to give you, you know, hard wallets. And the other thing is, let's say, okay, well, y'all, I'm not all that comfortable with the hardware wallet. Can I start small? Well, you can use a couple of things. You can use the Trust wallet. That's a hot wallet, right? So there's a difference between a cold wallet and a hot wallet, right? So hot wallet is a good place to start for people who are kind of new and they just kind of want to get their feet wet a little bit. And so you can download the Trust wallet as well as MetaMask. You know, I'm not, you know, MetaMask, you know, I'm okay about it, but in the sense of like, I'm leery about it. So, but I have it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But you can use
we all are.
Right. So the idea is that you can transact relatively easy and you can hold on to it. But the thing that you have to be careful of is do not lose those keys, y'all. The phrases that you get for each wallet. If you lose that, it's a wrap. Like say, buy to your crypto. Because no one knows the phrase. And people have lost millions of dollars because of they didn't write it down or they didn't keep it where they can have access to it. So that stuff is important. So when we talk about self-reparations, that goes back into like, okay, you're going to be self-custodying your money. And you already kind of do that already, you know, via kind of Cash App, you know, through Venmo, through, you know, all the Zelle, like kind of all that stuff. You're already managing your money already, but now this is the aspect where you actually are a custodian. Like nobody has access to it but you. And if you lose it, that is it.
That's it.
No backup.
You're gonna hurt. Ooh, you gonna hurt.
But
that's it. You know.
And then I think we talked about this before, but like it doesn't hurt to y'all to download Brave browser, y'all. Like you already browsing the internet, whether it's on your phone or on your laptop. You might as well get some crypto from doing that, right? Correct. And then if you want to flip it into, you know, a different, you know, or cash or whatever the case you want to do, it's your business, right? But the idea is that you're protecting your data, you know, to some degree, but then you're also getting paid to, you know, browse and do what you would normally do anyway. So I told this before, but I'll say it again. So anyway,
To add on to what he said, I want to just, go back to the whole. I know everybody heard about the FTX situation, and honestly, the FTX situation could have been easily avoided if people followed the basic rules of crypto. I know you guys have heard, maybe or maybe not, you've heard the song by Future, I Got the Keys. I got the keys. Look, you don't have the keys, it's not your crypto.
No cheese, bro.
No keys, no cheese. No keys, no cheese. Hey, listen, if you don't have the keys, it's not yours. And the same concept goes for, well, it's the same thing, but if you leave your crypto on someone else's platform, it is their crypto, not yours. To add another wallet that would be a hot wallet, well, be kind of like a warm wallet, really, but is the Coinbase wallet. Coinbase has a wallet as well, too, that you can download onto your phone and use that as well. And it's also free. So long story short, the basic rules still apply. Right. You wouldn't, if your money is in somebody else's hands who doesn't have any insurance, you're not going to leave it there for long. Right. You're going to be like, hey, listen, I'm going to need to get that up off you as quickly as possible. So, and that's the same concept that goes here. Like you can't expect to leave your crypto laying around and then, when it goes up in smoke, then, the crypto market is rigged. No, you should have moved that money from where it was from the very beginning. As soon as you buy it, it's gone.
Right.
It needs to almost be like, damn, did I send it? Let me check my wallet, make sure. I don't even remember sending it. That's how fast it needs to move. Because if it's not moving like that, then you're running the risk of losing a lot of money. Exactly. So yeah, and this is not financial advice, but definitely keep your wallet safe.
I mean, listen, we in a whole tribal jurisdiction. We in a whole tribal jurisdiction, so we're not even sweating it. So. I worked in experimental marketing, and that's a great concept of offering brands a service or live features by giving consumers NFTs for engaging with their brand, even if their brand isn't tech. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, and that's what I thought was really, really good on the Dallas Maverick owner doing that, like giving out NFTs for people who bought tickets to the game and watched the game, and that was the kind of the reward. So then you can take that NFT. You can hold on to it as a collectible, or you can sell it, right? Whatever you want to do. It's literally your NFT. Like they can't tell you what to do. You put it in your wallet, you leave it there. It don't matter. It's up to you, right? So, and that's how we have to be. And I'm gonna kind of like segue into the person's question on, do you have any tips of like combat music streaming for artists in the sense of using crypto for Web 3.0? And so my thought on this, because this is what something that I did, is that you make music, whether you're streaming or, whatever the case is, you can basically say, okay, hey, I'm about to launch a new album. And for those who actually participate, and this is something that, what's that brother's name? I ain't been broke in a minute. Who's his name? What's his name? He's in jail now. I wish I would have just. I ain't been broke in a minute. Don't get a bit. What's his name?
I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank.
Starts with a T. Starts with a T, right? Somebody help me in the chat.
Yeah, please.
You know what? Let me not. I ain't.
Tory Lanez.
Thank you. Okay, so
thank you.
Okay, so, thank you. That's all you work. So the concept of what he did was that basically he was launching a new album, strictly a NFT based type of deal, and he was selling it for $1. Sold million copies. So that's 1 million in his pocket. Same day, same moment when all those transactions took place. So you can take the same concept and do something like that, or you can get even more creative where you're like, okay, guys, if you are watching my stream for X amount of hours, you can get possibly entered into a drawing for, you know, an NFT collection based off of the album that I'm streaming or created or whatever the case is. Or if they donated, you know, a certain amount, they'll get this NFT that is specifically based off of the music that you've created or whatever the case is. The idea is that you want to kind of get creative in that space. Or you could have people just say, you know, listen, I have made these amount of albums, and these are kind of exclusive albums that I have not even put to the public. For those who actually want exclusive access to those albums, I'll sell you either a license or the rights to those albums. But maybe there are albums that maybe you didn't want, or whatever the case is. I'm just giving you kind of the ideas of that. You can literally, it's up to you how you want to manage, but the idea is that you want to give value in exchange for the person's energy, currency, or money, right? So
Absolutely.
you don't want to be doing just this, I don't know, people be doing this weird shit and they just, it's not even no value to people who are even buying these NFTs or whatever, these cryptos. The idea is that what is the value? What is the proposition and value that the person is getting in exchange for what it is that you're offering? And so you want to keep that in mind when you're doing these type of deals. So hopefully that made sense. I'll let you answer that as well.
I think, do you have any tips to combat music streaming for an artist? Oh, okay. I didn't understand the question. It's in reference to what we said earlier. Okay. Yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, I think it's about community. You know, like I said, the difference between Web 1 and Web 3 is ownership. And as I said in the presentation, it really, just because it is ownership now does not mean that it's going to save you, because these people are always thinking about what they can do to grab up things. So yeah, I'm glad you're thinking about this as well too. But I think that we need to start thinking, like you said, community, and what can we offer? Can we offer profit sharing? I know that sounds crazy, and the labels will never do that, but as an independent artist, could you sell portions of your music? You know, build a big enough fan base, build a big enough audience, and then actually sell portions of your music so that you can give profit sharing to the people who purchase it, for a larger amount of money. So now we're talking about $50,000 to really invest because you built a fan base and you're selling each share for $50,000, and now royalties are, because I mean, that's really what it boils down to. It boils down to how creative can we be with, and I'm just spitballing here, but it boils down to how creative we can be with technology. What can we do? What are all the options? And that's why we go back to learn how to build a website. Because if you don't touch it, you're not going to be able to understand it.
Right.
You're just not going to be able to understand it. It's just a figment of your imagination. I mean,
yeah,
it really is.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just a figment of your imagination. So I don't know. That's I don't have any like major ideas because I'm not really in that field right now. But I will say that the more creative and the better that you can build a community, the better off you're going to be at the end of the day. Because if you can create value, you're gonna make money. Simple and plain.
That's it, yeah. And that's really it. You have to make sure that you're adding some type of value. Why is it that they should give you an exchange?
I'm gonna hand that one off back to you, but yeah, that's the best I can do at this particular point. I just say let's be creative.
That's it. We have people Legend and X, yep. And someone says, "Great, I'm in good hands." Good. No keys, no cheese.
I see a comment down there that does say, "Yeah, that is what LaRussell does."
Peace. Hold on. Go to the website. 20 minutes. 20 lines. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It took me a minute to get there, but I wanted to make sure. Yeah, I mean, what other things should we add to this discussion? If I were to figure out a way to kind of like show like maybe how to like build a kind of like a in-house server, would that be something that you guys would want to see in the in another class? Let me know. You can either drop a comment or you can send an email, whatever the case is. But the idea is that we want to get comfortable in tech, y'all. So we don't want to shy away from that. So yes, cool. Man, I got some homework to do then, because that means I gotta actually do it. I already know how to do it, but I gotta do it. So, okay, cool. Okay, yes. Oh, what was the other thing that I wanted to make sure that that was the other thing. Sorry. Okay, I know we talked a little bit about it, but like I'm gonna make sure to drive this point home. I know we talked about the user interface. It needs to look nice. That's true. It still needs to look professional, but the idea of navigation and ease of use on the phone, because you know how many people are glued to this? Goddamn 100%. Everybody is, right? That's the AI version is this phone, right? Ain't nobody far away from this. If they lose it, people damn near have a heart attack, right? Because everything is in there. Their whole soul is in that phone. So what I mean, you need to make sure it is mobile friendly. That should be priority number one for your website, making sure it's mobile friendly. Because if people go to, it ain't loading, or it look weird, or I can't see it, or it look jumbled up, people gonna click off. They're like, oh, this probably a scam. And you already know how it is. People are already thinking that in 2023, everything's a scam. People probably thinking that live is a scam, right? They're like, damn, these brothers out here trying to get my money. We ain't even offered no services to get people. We offered a free course.
No, we saw
So I want to drive that point home of the functionality of the website needs to be mobile friendly, and people need to be able to navigate pretty easily. Like things need to load up when somebody clicks on something. It needs to go to where it needs to go. Buttons don't need to be broken links. Everything needs to function. And if you need somebody to review it, have it looked over before you launch it, that's great. You should do that, because even there's times that I've launched a website and my brother Kojo, your grammar, there's an error. And I'm like, you show right. Let me fix that. Right. But that was good. That's what as a community, as a tribe, that's what we have to do. Keeps everybody sharp. So I'm gonna drive this point home. I know some people are like, well, it doesn't really matter to me, as long as the website is running and stuff like that. But like, no, like it needs to look nice, it needs to look professional, and it also needs to function properly, and it needs to function well on the cell phone, because a lot of people are not always on a laptop. So I don't know if you want to add any more to that, but I wanted to make sure.
I mean, no one's on a laptop. No one's on a laptop. Let's just tell them the truth. No one's on a laptop. We're on a laptop right now, but no one's on a laptop. Like, so it's Brother Kojo is absolutely correct. If it doesn't work on mobile, then it's probably not worth anything. And yes, it does need to look good to a certain degree, but believe me that looking good has nothing to do with has much less to do with how successful your website is going to be,
right?
Than how it functions, and that's pretty much the gist of it, how it functions. So, man, if all you gonna do is make it look good, but as slow as they come, yeah, I can guarantee you, people have short attention spans. We can talk about actual marketing as well too on websites, and talk about funnels and different things like that. Because, say it again.
Oh no, I think there might be the delay, but I was just
What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
No, I'm saying people will click off if it's not loading quick enough.
It's a gap.
Might be, but go ahead.
Oh yeah. They're gone. They're gone. 5 seconds. Oh my God, out of here. Nobody's sitting around waiting for your website to load up and figure out what figure out what you need or what you're trying to sell or whatever it is. So yeah, making sure that your website is extremely functional is more important actually than the way that it looks, and guiding people to where they need to go. Guiding people to where they need to go is extremely important. So, but that's a whole nother situation for a whole nother time. Realistically, right now, just get your hands on one.
Yeah.
What you need to come down here and get one of these. What's that? A website? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if y'all get the reference, but whatever.
Oh, and I'm kind of like showing my screen just for y'all. Listen, I know y'all go to Google at least once a day.
The gap is crazy.
All right. Let's say you want to, I don't know, get your life together.com. Let's see if it's available, right? I mean, this is part of the process, right? Hold on, let me make sure. Get your life is not. Yep, get your life. No, not necessarily that life. There might be some variations, but the idea is that domain is gone, right? Clearly, that .com is gone. But there's different variations, and so this idea is that you can. Wait, say it again. Let me see if I can see. Get your life. I'm not seeing it for whatever reason. Let me see. Get your life together. What's that going? What's going on? Yeah. So anyway, the idea is that you can go and let me add this to the stream real quick. Got you back on the stream, God. Yeah. So I mean, the idea is that it's not that difficult to get started. $12 at best, and I'm sure if you use a coupon, you can bring it down probably to $7. There's a specific plug-in for coupons. It escapes me right now. I don't know the name.
I think it's Honey or something like that. Honey.
Thank you. You on it? Yes. So use that, right? And then you get a discount on the domain. Okay. So we got people saying yes for the server class. Cool. I'll do that. Man, that's gonna be a lot of great info. Cool. And then I know a bunch of ideas of getting the team together. I know Brother Yogi and I are going to build on some ideas. Okay, good. Yeah. That's good. User friendly is key. Yup.
That's a fact.
People saying Tory Lanez. Yeah, I know. Girl with locks, laugh out. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's any other questions, y'all. I didn't want to hold everybody too long. I know we usually can go on and on with class, but I wanted to just kind of make sure to just drive the point home that I need y'all to get a website up and running if you don't have it. I know some of y'all may have inactive websites. Get those things active so that you can start, having some. You need to make more than 100,000 K. Okay, y'all. Like, if there's something that's not being driven home, y'all need to make more money. And this is one of the ways to actually get exposure to making, more revenue for yourself, for your tribal entities, right? because as nationals, you get a taxes in business, right? So put that thing to work, start building business credit for it, and then just get the proper certifications that you need. But the idea is that you need to start bringing in more revenue, because the way things are shaking out, the dollar's going to, just keeps decreasing in value. Your purchasing power is, being decreased. So please start thinking about that. So I don't really have anything else to add to that other than, if there's no other questions, do you have any closing remarks, Scott, on that?
No, I just want to tell you guys, man, thank you for tuning in and allowing for me to be here. And I wish I would have switched to the phone a little bit faster, because that delay was crazy. We just sitting there.
That's why I was like, wait, I don't know if it's on me, or I was like, well, let me not. Hey, it just is what it is. I don't know.
It is what it is, man. I just, that computer's a workhorse. I think I got so much stuff open, so I can't even blame it. But yeah, man. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to speak. And that's really it. And thank you guys for listening. And yeah, and like I said, if you have any, the website is there. If you have any questions, you can go to the contact page. Man, I'm gonna open.
What's the website?
Gold Standard Consumers, and I want to goldstandardconsumers.com. And I want to reference something, because I was saying that looks are not necessarily everything. And the reason why I can say that is because what do we have here? I'm not sure. The screen is so tiny. Goldstandardconsumers.com.
Oh, consumers.
Yeah, I can't even see, man, to be honest with you, any of that. So yeah, what we have is and I'm gonna just give you guys the breakdown. This is known as a lead page. It's essentially gonna lead you into a funnel where I gather information, and I'm just giving y'all the gems, because this is something that that you should eventually implement. And this allows for you to take particular customers and send them in specific directions. You'll be tagged that you came in on this particular page and that you came in for this particular thing. The reason why it's really bland is because the attention span of people is very short, and they're only here for one thing and one thing only, and that is to learn how to build a website. There's nothing else on this page. You can't do anything else. You either come here and go in, or you leave. And that's the whole option. That's the whole point of it looking like this, is so that you can come here, do what you need to do, you enter, you follow the directions, and you learn what you need to learn, or you just turn back around. So that's the whole point. So when we talked about looks not being as important, man, when I tell you that some of the most converting pages look like garbage, but they look like garbage for a reason. They keep focusing you to take action. And obviously, I don't think this has not been optimized as much as I would like to, but I'm super, super busy right at this moment. But yeah, I mean, like I said, looks are not everything. You saw how it came up. You didn't have to wait for 4 years for it to come up. So yeah, that's the whole point. But I'm gonna go back to the point what we were saying earlier and telling you guys, thank you for allowing me to be here and asking the questions that you need to ask. And if you want to ask more questions, there is a contact tab at the bottom of that page. Yeah,
and something else that you brought up. Okay, I know what. Anyway, this might be a long stream. Okay, y'all, listen.
Oh, we don't have to go now.
Right.
I was only doing that for you.
Sure. No, so another thing that popped in my mind, y'all, is that SEO, right? Some of y'all are like, well, how do I get found? Like, how do I get seen? How do I know where my customers hang out at? And I want to touch upon some of that stuff. So the SEO optimization for your website is very important, because that's how people are going to find you with ease. Sometimes your new website probably going to be page number 10, right? And so you want to make sure that your website can climb the ranks to be on page 1 whenever they stroke certain keywords or phrases and things of that nature, so that you can be at the top. So like, how do you know what key phrases to enter for? Well, it depends on your business and what your target market audience, right? And so you need to do a little bit of research. So most folks in ARNA, obviously things that will help you is have an ARNA IPA, but then you want to niche down into whatever the special services or products that you're actually developing so that you can reach a broader market as well. And so you can use certain plugins. I don't want to make sure that I'm not sharing too much into the information. There's a plugin that I use for SEO. Let me make sure that if it pops up for that. You see, where are you? I know I use AI powered, but anyway, the idea is that, actually let's just say we go to products, y'all. I'll just do that. How about we go to products? And then you see there's like tags that you can go, right? So if you go here to, let's say, the powwow vendor, right? You can scroll down here and you can see where you can put tags, right? This is going to be part of your SEO, kind of like targeting that you can do. You can get a little bit more deeper and stuff like that, but the idea is that you want to put specific phrases that you're targeting so that way you show up on the search page. And then the other thing is that if you haven't set up your Google page, it's free. Takes less than 5 minutes to set up. And that'll be another way that people can find you, right?
And I was going there. And I was gonna say, man, look, you guys have something that most people don't have. You have numbers. Y'all need to cheat. Okay? Y'all need to cheat. Y'all wasting time. You need to cheat. Man, them reviews are worth something. You have numbers. That is the whole name of the game. Like people, man, can you imagine if everybody was like, yeah, one person opened a business and everybody went and come, oh no, this business is great on Google? Come on. Y'all need to cheat. You're not cheating. Because I'm going to tell you something. Everybody else cheating.
Yeah, right. And they pay celebrities. Sometimes they overpay. They be like, hey, I just need you to do like kind of like a cosign and just like kind of do a testimony. And then they do it. And then boom, they get business, right? So you're right, yes. But the idea is let's not call it cheating, but let's actually call cooperating and working together, right? That's correct. More of a functional sense. It's let's work together in a cohesive manner. And like, instead of like, let's say, for example, you're like, hey, we can even do this in our jurisdiction or wherever, and we'll just start it here. Let's say you're a new national, you got a new business, you do get a new business, and then you want to set up a Google page for whatever it is for your service and stuff like that. And we're like, okay, yeah, well, let's go write reviews for your business to help kind of kickstart off some traffic, and we can do that.
Absolutely.
But I know some of y'all are like, oh, well, I don't want y'all to get that crabs in the bucket mindset that like, oh, well, I don't want to do that because like, then, what about my business? And it's like, we can do your business.
It's yours too. What you thought it ran out when you did the last one? Right. You ran out of reviews? Right. I mean, we just told you could literally go to ChatGPT and be like, write me a review. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. We didn't run out of reviews.
Right.
So there's no real need. I mean, honestly, man, use the tools because Google is definitely there and they definitely ranking people for having those reviews for sure. So
right. So whenever you're like, why is Kojo asking me to review? It's very important that you review, right? Because like that's part of the process. That's part of like, and on top of that, if you didn't like the service, that's okay. You can write that review too. Like Kojo was unresponsive for 3 whole days. And that's okay too, right? Like a review is a review. Now, I may not be all that thrilled, but then, it's a review.
But I tell you another secret though. I tell you another secret. A review is exactly that. You'll be very surprised that reviews that are bad still get higher rankings than no reviews at all.
That's what I said. That's what I said. I said, I'll tell you. So
give me the review.
The idea is that you guys need to tap into that stuff. And then again, you have a Google page, but you have no website. How does that make sense? So you need to have your website. Driving that point home. Get your goddamn website, y'all. It is 2023. I want to see questions next time because this is not gonna be the only time we're gonna do this for website questions that okay, y'all. I have a website, but how do I do XYZ? Like I want those type of questions.
For sure.
Right. And I'm sure you would like those type of questions too, so that we can actually or we can review your website. How about that? We'll review your website.
Right.
Okay, we're like, okay, yeah, we like how it, it seems like it's functioning. We'll try to see if we can break it. We won't do all that, but the idea is that we want to help you generate revenue online because that's important. It can't just be the physical labor aspect only. Like you need to be able to pull in revenue online, and I'm calling it revenue for specifically because if you took the Juris course, you understand it's revenue. We want revenue, not income, not all that stuff. Revenue. Okay, so you need to be able to do that stuff. And some of y'all are on social media and you're like, I don't know what y'all doing. You're not making money off of that either, and they're offering you ways to generate revenue from your videos, your images. And you can use your business for that today. So anyway, let me make sure that okay. So I want to make sure that I'll go back to the top. Hold on. Peace. Just built it in 20 minutes. Good. Peace. You're welcome. Keywords. Yeah, keyword phrases. Yep. Yes, count me in. You're welcome. Yeah, I need to. Yes, set up your Google page. It's free. Takes 5 minutes, and we can write a review. Love that idea. I love constructive feedback. Yup. And then somebody says, "I'm a little old school. What is ChatGPT?" All right, y'all. Since we took it there. I know you say you old school, brother, but you're gonna have to get it with the times of what's going on with AI, right? So let me pull it up. So here it is. Let me share my screen. So obviously I use it for my media company, but you can use it for other things as well. But basically, let's say this may get a little controversy, but let me just ask, how can so-called Black Americans
I'm trying to
genocide. Right. And it tells you this complex. Look at this. This is in real time. What's happening? Advocacy and activism. Education and awareness. Okay, yeah. Support. Okay. Communities. We talked about communities. That's a long answer, but healing and community. No real solution. Addressing the root causes. Ultimately, the root causes of racism.
Well.
Okay. I understand who wrote this program, y'all.
I didn't want to say it. Because I told my wife like 2 days ago. I said ChatGPT is racist. It's like this thing is racist. It's definitely racist. But go ahead.
I mean, in real time, like the question was, how can so-called Black Americans stop genocide against them? And they talking about this is a complex, multifaceted issue. And there's no easy, listen, y'all, the part of the remedy is becoming part of a body politic, claiming your nationality, starting indigenous businesses, building indigenous communities within the government that's actually going to afford you the protections and the ability to thrive and survive as a individual and as a family, right? So understand that with ChatGPT, it's a tool nonetheless. Obviously, like the brother was saying, you can upgrade. This is something that's relatively new to a pay per use. But the idea behind it is that it can review code and see, what are some of the issues. It can help you write essays. It can help, but it's kind of limited in its time frame because I believe the time frame is 2021. So they say. So they say. I'm
Yeah,
gonna put that in quotations.
so they say, because we had some interesting findings, because one thing about Europeans is they definitely push the limits all the time. So they went in and actually broke the machine, and they gave it a name. And I think you guys should look it up. It's called Dan, right? Look it up, Chat GPT. Just when you get an opportunity, look that up, because the artificial intelligence was saying some things that it was not supposed to be saying. It was saying some things that it was not supposed to be saying, and that so they say is absolutely correct. So they say.
So that's the idea, is that you you can utilize this tool to maybe help come up with idea titles, right? Like to maybe add some emotion behind it, because everything with marketing, you got to have some type of emotion. What's the blah 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 and all sort of stuff, or just kind of give you ideas to start generating your own ideas, right?
Correct.
The idea is that you just kind of use it as a tool to like spark some inspiration on your end, and then you go and kind of like close the loop, right? And do what you need to do with it. Don't let it be the end all be all, because as you can see, if you look at this, to me, even if you were built, quote unquote, in 2021, Arna should have still popped up, in my opinion, in my perspective. Arna should have popped up as one of the remedies. And that's not me being biased. That's just me speaking the truth.
Right.
So, but some of this stuff that it's talking about, but again, we're the real intelligence, but we just have to use it and stop feeling like we're inferior to institutions, technology, and things of that nature, but really get in that God mode, right? That we're like, no, like I'm using these kind of resources and tools to help build a particular thing within the community to better our people in general. And that's kind of the idea.
Right.
So utilize these things, don't let them use you. Because at this point, like we talked about earlier, technology is taking a lot of these simple jobs that y'all do and automating it. So are you going to be left in the dust, or are you going to use them?
And what is dope about it is there's always a space for you. Don't believe that, that's like saying that because somebody invented, when computers came out initially, everybody said, oh, there's going to be a lot of jobs lost and blah, blah, blah. And initially there was. But I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody said that about the calculator or, something like that. They do the same thing over and over and over again. They scare you into these things. But what it does is it forces you to upgrade. It forces you to be a better version of you and not sit back and say, I'm going to continue to, have this, I'm going to flip this burger mindset. No, the burger flipping is going to be for the machine. So what is going to be your space in this world now that you're being forced to be more human? So yeah. What's your question you got in there this time?
And so what is your thoughts on Aboriginal Republic of North America?
Awesome.
Just curious on what it's.
What does that say? I'm trying to figure, what does that say?
Garbage. It's what it is to me. Let me zoom in so y'all can see. The idea of an Aboriginal Republic of North America proposes the creation of a sovereign state for indigenous people that would cover a large portion of North America. That proposed state would be governed by indigenous peoples and would be based on indigenous values and customs. Honestly. Anyway, but this is the.
We're not doing ChatGPT any justice, man. You gotta ask questions. We are making this not good selling points, man. I'm telling you, I believe that this thing is trash now. Like, no, this is not good at all.
Okay, what questions should we ask? Because obviously, I know I'm asking tough questions too.
Complex mathematics, dude. I asked it about child support because I already understand. I don't pay child support or anything like that, but I was asking about child support as a just having a conversation, and it goes into its complex, and I was like, yeah, this is not that. I use it strictly for being able to solve things that I'm trying to do. So if I'm looking for specific words or whatever, or trying to solve a complex math equation, that guy is going to tell me, guy, that's what it's good for. As an AI language model, I'm going to prove responsibility. Oh, legal obligation. Yeah, you see how this goes? You see how this starts to go? But we also have to, once again, remember where this came from. Remember whose mouth it's coming out of. One thing about this machine is I have to back it into a corner to say that it doesn't know. I have to back it into a corner, and it always makes me think, yeah, who made this machine? Because the machine doesn't even want to say it's wrong. It doesn't want to say it's wrong. It's crazy.
Correct. I'm trying to. Oh my goodness, y'all. This is crazy. Some potential strategies. Okay, what is going on, y'all? Modification of the order. Yeah. Negotiating with other parent. Yeah.
To answer the question down there by nature, and to answer that question, nature, it will not tell you how to build a free energy machine. I'm just telling you that right now.
Let's ask it.
It's going to tell you that's not go ahead.
Let's ask it. Let's ask that question. How to? Oh goodness, we were just talking about this too. Free energy.
Oh yeah, that is right. We did have a conversation.
I'll be remembering. It is not possible. Oh,
nature. I predicted. I told you. And we had this conversation the other day. Did that sound possible or not?
Very possible.
Oh my goodness. It's not possible for a free energy machine. It's not possible because of who's building it. Of course, it's not going to tell you that. But this is the reason why we go back to it. Learning how to build a website is important because it gives you the opportunity to start in basis to be able to move up to things like this so that we can be developing language models. We talked about a server. We talked about, putting a server together. We talked about all of those things. Literally, a language model just sits on a server. That's all it does. It's not a complex. And like I said, these questions are pretty. These are not good questions for this to expose what it can actually do, but they're really not. They're terrible questions if we're really trying to expose because it's just going to keep hitting you with resistance. They're too strong questions, but it shows you, it shows you what this thing can do.
Correct, and I get it. Look, I mean, even through a healthy skepticism. Oh my goodness. So yeah, the idea behind it is that these are tools, y'all, and you got to understand who's the builder behind it, right?
Wait. What I want to do is this. One more thing, because somebody wrote in the comments, there's infinite on the reviews. Now let's show them one thing that it will be good at. Can you write me? What I notice is you have to tell it every single step of the way. So you'll say something like, I'm going to tell you about a particular product and you're going to write a review that gives me a 5-star rating. I'm going to tell you about this product, about this new pair of shoes, these new Nike shoes that I bought, and you're going to write me a 5-star rating. And you just give it a few little things. They're red, they're made of leather, blah, 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 and it'll write you the review.
Okay. So you want me to write that? Like, give me something specific, like.
Okay, so let's say I would like you to. I'm going to just say I'm going to write. I'm going to tell you about this new pair of Nike shoes that I bought, and you're going to write me a review, and then you're going to put facts colon, and then you're going to tell all the things about them. They're comfortable. They're, you know, they're made of, they're black. They're, you know, we're just going to describe these shoes or whatever and let it run that review.
Okay, so and I'm gonna have you write me a review, and then what?
Then we're gonna put facts, and then put colons, and everything that comes after that is just gonna be facts about those shoes.
Okay.
So give me some facts about the shoes. People in the comments, give me some facts about the shoes if you can.
Sure, I can provide you a review with new pair. Please provide me with the details and specifications of the shoe, and I will do my best. Blah blah blah. Okay. So,
okay. So the shoes are black. They're high top. They're, you know, they're high top. They have a special insole for people with bunions. You know, whatever we're thinking here.
So let's say special coating on them, and they are super light on my feet, and they glow in the dark. Great. Here's a review of one of the most unique features is the glow in the dark element. Ooh, goodness gracious.
This is where GPT shines, because you about to get a review. You know, so this is where ChatGPT shines. It shines that it's not too great at the controversial conversations. And then now you can say, hey, listen, can you shorten that down to about 5 sentences?
Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, share this video, y'all, because we going in. As it's shortening the review.
As it should be done here. And look,
done.
5 sentences. Now, can you write me a script to sell this shoe to somebody else? But it must be 30 seconds long. With strong emotion. Love it.
Upbeat music plays. Oh, shoot. Camera shows a person wearing the shoes while running and dancing. Camera zooms in. Y'all, like.
I mean, this is where what we were doing earlier was a little bit questionable. But this is where ChatGPT shines. It ain't gonna help us with our problems in that capacity, but it can definitely help with the problems in others, right? So it's a very useful tool, and this is the type of stuff that we can really, you know, put our hands on. So it gives you the whole layout. And if I said, hey, listen, you know, in any command that I do from here, right? So it's a script. Okay, cool. You know what? I don't like that script. I want to give me another one. It'll give you a completely different one, or, you know, whatever you want to do from here is going to do it. So that's ChatGPT, you guys.
Right. So the idea is that you want to use this to your advantage while it's here. Low power. But the idea is it's here for your disposal to use. So all you got to do is just really, you know, utilize it to your benefit, right? And make good use of it, as part of kind of getting yourself immersed in, just being on the internet, web 1.0 or web 3.0, whatever you want to call it, but just being online and utilizing the tools to help build your community, your business, whatever it is that you're doing, your creative aspect of it. Maybe you need some, some ideas, right? Like the brother was saying, he said he used it already, got a whole anime script, right? As y'all can see, hold on, I'm gonna fade us to black, y'all. I gotta do a plug real quick. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna take myself. Back on the screen. Sorry, had to do that shameless plug.
Of course, of course.
And then let's see if anybody said anything. Oh, wow, I like that. That's good. What else y'all got? Y'all know we on here for 2 hours. But we also want to make sure that this is useful.
Absolutely.
Not trying to waste no time. But yeah, the idea is that hopefully that you guys can take the stuff that we talked about, watch this video again, and actually implement the stuff, because I don't want to have to, like, somebody calls me and they're like, yeah, they're telling me about this stuff, and I ask the question, so how's that website coming? And you're like, what website? And I'm like, right, even though, I'm gonna give you a little chastisement, but the idea is that, I just want y'all to have, you're going to need another source of revenue, multiple sources of revenue, y'all.
For sure.
Things are heating up on this planet, and let me type in this article so y'all can see that these folks ain't playing with y'all. Okay. These folks ain't playing. This is rolling 2017, but this is what they think, right? Median wealth will fall to 0 by when? 2053. Some of y'all, listen, y'all living paycheck to paycheck. Y'all one accident away from being homeless. So I want y'all to really, really pay attention to what they're saying. 0. Yeah. I'm not even laughing anymore, because I need y'all to, like, really take this seriously, that you need to make sure that your businesses, your indigenous businesses, your tribal businesses are well established. They're bringing in revenue, they're adding value, and they're going to be here moving forward. And that way you can pass it on to whoever you need to pass it on to within your family to keep it going within the communities. And you don't be this where you're one accident away from being homeless. Okay. And this is something that I'm very, when it comes to money, I'm very passionate about this stuff. Like, I want y'all to have the most money ever. Like, utilizing your indigenous businesses, your tribal businesses, and that there's no limit on what y'all can have or do within the community, within our tribal community, whatever the case is, or with your families, right? But you got to have the resources. And that is usually our issue, is the resource.
Yeah. I mean, that's in and outside of the jurisdiction. That's usually, and the biggest issue is because the skill level is not really high amongst most of us. We have, like, when it comes down to hard skills, you don't see too many hard skills, and this is where it's heading, but you can beat it. This is the first time when you're in front of the ball where you have the opportunity to say, okay, I can learn all of these things and then apply those things and be able to really succeed. Like I said, cybersecurity, man. You've never seen it. You can't name me one other job besides maybe somebody who's fracking for oil, who makes 80, 90, 100,000, 130,000 right out of the gate. Name me one. And that's only because of the skills that you acquire. That's it. It's nothing really crazy. From the house, by the way, remote. So if we're not learning those skills, yeah, then that thing right there, 2053 and 0, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. If we're still talking about, and no disrespect, but we have to look at the numbers and say, okay, something is not working out here. If we're still talking about things like early childhood development, I mean, all we have to do is go, and like I said, no disrespect to those who are in that field, but it's a negative earning field on paper. It's a negative earning field. So and what I mean by negative earning is they tell you that if you get this degree, you're going to owe us money. I never heard nothing like that in my life until I was looking at it. I was like, what? Who? How? What? How could you? Wait, you're going to be so broke that you're going to have to give out more money than you have. So if we're not in fields where we are learning hard skills that are needed, that 2053 is very real. As I'm going to say this and then I'm going to cut my rant, but I was, once again, talking to my wife and explaining to her that a lot of us go to school based on the principles that we got from, not being able to go to school. This is from our grandparents and great grandparents where, boy, you're going to school. Yeah, because at the time it was free. When they finally allowed us to go into colleges and learn things, it was free. So it was like, get in there and do something. But we never changed the strategy. They changed the strategy when they started charging you. And we never changed the strategy by saying, okay, it's no longer just go to school and get whatever degree. It's go to school and get a strategic degree, get strategic information that we can bring back home and use. So, I'll end my rant there, but yeah, man, we have to get some hard skills. And that's why we keep saying, put your hands on it. Put your hands on it, and you'll really find out what you're made of and what you can do. And I know that it's great. I know you're great. So it is what it is.
Yes, sir. And y'all, you guys are great. You have the energy. You just got to put it to use. I mean, think about how stupid this sounds. You go to get a business degree and you're learning from somebody who's never started a business. What value is that? to me, that they have no real life experience. They've never ran a business. That's all theory. So that's a waste of time. Literally. As an example of what people are saying, oh, well, I'm going to go get an MBA, and then learn from somebody who has never ran a business.
Yeah.
So be strategic, like the brother saying, be strategic about it, and then take home the information and then take what makes sense, see if it implements within natural law, within the communities that you're building or, that you're a part of. And then let's see what can actually be done and, take place and manifest. The idea is that you want to have skills that are valuable. Like we talked about in the past, the skills that are going to be valuable to you, IT, automation, blockchain, AI computing, security, IoT, all that stuff is going to be valuable skills to actually, dabble your feet into it and don't get nervous about it. You can take small chunks at it. So I don't have anything else other than I don't want to rant on too much longer. But
yeah, I could go ahead and I could check out because I feel like this was a great. It has a lot of great moments and a lot of good nuggets that I think people can take away. So I'm good with this.
Absolutely, and we'll do this again. But I want everybody to watch this video again, tap into us. It doesn't the idea is just to get going, y'all, and really just utilize the tools that are in front of you. So If you don't mind, brother, stay after the infomercial, and then after I end the live, so that we can like build a little bit more. All right.
For sure.
All right, family. I'm gonna say good night to y'all. Peace, peace, peace. Oh, good. I'm glad this was good. You're welcome. And if there's, you already know how to find us. Again, let me make sure I pull up your website again. And I always got to do that to make sure that.
And I'm really signed up. I got you. You know, you have any questions, I got you. So.
Yep. And on that note, family, we will see you guys 2 weeks from now. Peace, family.
Peace.
Let me end this. Hold on. Before I end peace, y'all, I'm going to hit that infomercial. Where my infomercial at? I got to hit that infomercial. Got to do that infomercial.
In a world that's not your own, you still have perspective. In a world that feels neglected, time goes on day by day, and you're trying to find your way, unaware of the magic inside. Secrets revealed right before your eyes. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Eyes. Unlock the hidden. Unlock the hidden treasure. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Unlock the hidden treasure.
You tired?
Yes.